Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am JV and this is JV's book views. What I'm going to be discussing about is what my channel is all about. So when it comes to certain books that I have and are interested in reading, I will discuss or more likely give my opinions and my brief overview of what the books are going to be about and share my thoughts with you about them. Um, Also, another premise of what this channel is about is that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I have collected all of the Star Wars Legend novels. I collected a few of the Star Wars Legend comics or graphic novels, mainly from the Old Republic and Legacy era, as well as the Infinity comics as well, and the Infinity stories. I don't have enough. I don't have the money or the time to be reading all the other comics and trying to sort things out and figure out whether or not they follow the Star Wars Legends continuity and timeline, because that's another thing I want to do about with the Star Wars Legends novels and books is try to give my opinions and figure out which books follow more of the Star Wars Legacy timeline and chronology and um, continuity. And given that Star Wars created by George Lucas, he started with the original trilogy first, 4, 5, and 6, and then he moved on to the prequels, and he allowed certain stories and certain ideas to be explored within the books and comics and games that were being released alongside the original trilogy and everything after that, between that. Um, he wanted to work on the prequels himself, so most of the stories were done either done or written to follow alongside the original trilogy timeline or afterwards, or when it comes to the Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith, um, which comprises some stories within the Old Republic going thousands of years before that, um, with the Great Hyperspace War. So there is not much to explore with the prequel era until the prequel trilogy did come out, but there are some key interesting differences from the stories with what the prequels have created and or established, such as the origin of Boba Fett, which they had to go back and rewrite and retell, and some things about some stories about Luke and Leia, some of the classic characters. They briefly, in which they briefly mention about the events of the prequel era, but they don't dive too much into it because George Lucas didn't give a lot of detail or a lot of emphasis on what goes on within the prequel era, so they kind of had to try to guess what happened. So that's what I want to do as well. Try to figure out, okay, which stories follow the Legends timeline, the Legends chronology or continuity more than others, such as Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which I will be getting into and reading here soon, which was originally going to be the story to be the sequel to The New Hope before George Lucas decided to create Empire Strikes Back. So I want to read Splinter of the Mind's Eye here soon and see if there's any continuity errors, and if there is, I'll decide on whether or not, me personally, if I want to keep it within the Legends continuity or get rid of it or consider it as an alternate universe. That's what I want to do, and that's another reason why I didn't want to collect a whole bunch of the classic comics from the time period, because it's all over the place. I understand, especially with the early Marvel comics. And I don't want to sort all that out. I don't have the time or money, so I'm just going to be working on with the novels and see where things go from there. So that's what I want to do as well. Talk a bit about the Star Wars Legends continuity timeline novels and books, and give my opinions and theories and emphasis on what goes on, and see whether or not I want to keep it within the continuity or keep it separate, and as well as talking about other books that I find interesting and love as well, such as the Jurassic Park duology, or if you want to consider Dragon Teeth as part of the universe trilogy. I'll make a separate video on that as well. But that's what I want to do with this channel. Give my opinions and emphasis and perspectives on different books, briefly talking about them, briefly talking about what they're about and whatnot, and then try to give my opinion as well when it comes to the Star Wars Legends books, to see which ones follow the timeline and continuity, which don't, and whether or not I would accept them or not accept them, and see where things go from there. And yeah, that's what I want to do. And without further ado, I hope you all have a good day.